Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Elliot Grigg. This is a reaction video to the news that Hamzah Sheeraz and Ammo Williams will face off on the big card on June the 1st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Of course, on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol, which is for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. Elliot, good fight, undefeated versus undefeated. How excited are you for this one?
No, you know what? I'm excited for this one. I think it's a good fight and it looks like it's going to be a good event, a good card based on what we've seen so far. I think you look at someone like Hamzah Sheeraz, obviously a guy that's a big sort of prospect from this country, isn't he, as well? 15 KOs, 19 fights, exciting fight. I think people have been looking for him to sort of step up. Liam Williams, a bit disappointing. Obviously, we expected that to be his sort of come out, which in some ways it was, but Williams wasn't what he was. But I still take nothing away from Sheeraz. He's a bright star. And also, Ammo Williams is again a guy, 11 KOs, 16 fights, again, carries power. Been talked about a lot. Obviously, he's got victories over like Kieran Conway, obviously, River Wilson Bent that we know obviously in this country as well. So I am excited for it, man. I actually am excited, and I'm not going to go too early into my prediction, but I do have a prediction, and it's fairly cast iron. But I'm excited for this one. Yeah, I really am.
Yeah, for sure. And how excited are you compared to the other fights? Because I feel like this is look, it's a unique idea. I'm not sure if it's been done before, where it's kind of five versus five from different promotional companies with a fantastic main event between two elite fighters. Main event aside, when you compare this to the likes of Wilder Zhang and Hrgovic Dubois, which are kind of top 10 heavyweights, kind of big men punching each other in the face. And this is a bit different, although it's two big punchers. Both Sheeraz and Williams are big punchers. Um, how excited are you for this one? You could argue it's maybe more. This is more fringe world level than world level, maybe. But yeah, but where's your head at in terms of when it comes to June the 1st? How excited are you going to be? Is it going to be for this fight? Is it going to be for another fight? Is it going to be for the Champions League final, which is on the same night? Maybe we'll kind of scrap the whole boxing altogether. How excited are
No, man. To be honest with you, I'm with you. Actually, this is not world level really to me yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. Both guys could go on to world honors. They could, in some ways they could. But for me, this is still sort of below that, or it's kind of fringe world level fight. But I think, to be honest with you, the intrigue in it is also because I don't think it's going to go the distance, frankly. So when you put it in there with those big boys as well, like you say, Hrgovic, Dubois, I don't think that's going the distance. Wilder, Zhang, I don't think that's going the distance. So you're sitting there going, actually, it kind of feeds into the event in that way. But to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, I'm not probably alone in saying this. The heavyweight fights are the heavyweight fights, aren't they? At the end of the day, like people like watching heavyweight fights. And to be honest with you, the fight I'm most excited at, even including the main event, I'm most excited to see Wilder back me. If Wilder comes in and he ices Zhang, that for me is going to be the highlight of my evening. Even though I'm not sure the main event will go the distance. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I think there's a chance it will. But yeah, for me, this is exciting. It fits into the tone, frankly. It fits into tone, and like you don't usually get guys that are both kind of on the up in this way, fighting each other necessarily at this time. Like you could easily have someone like Ammo Williams carry on building, carry on building. Sheeraz, I think, is actually ready more for this kind of like WBC silver kind of fight. To be honest, but equally, you look at his CV, it needs some names on it. So I think it's actually they deserve a lot of credit for squaring off to each other in this way. And I think both guys can come again, but equally, like you say, it's rare that they even fight at this stage in the first place.
yeah, yeah, and I think you're bang on there, and I think that's what should be appreciated about this is that these guys could have had kind of lackluster 2024s and just kind of kept on winning, kept on kind of stopping guys who were kind of way outside the top 10 in the division. But no, it's one of those where you hope that the winner goes on to a big fight and the loser comes again. It's one of those where there will be a winner and a loser, but I think it's credit should be given to both fighters for taking this fight. Got one more question before we do move on to predictions, Elliot. I don't think the middleweight division is at its best in terms of the days of like prime Golovkin, arguably a prime Canelo. You've not got kind of the big names when you look at the world champions. Janabek's a fantastic fighter. Not many people know who he is. Arisandi Lara, who's nearly 40, hasn't fought for nearly 2 years. It's not full of star-studded names, if we're honest. Do you think that the winner of this fight will fight for a world title in the next 12 months? Bearing in mind Hamzah Sheeraz still only 24, still quite a young fighter. Do you see that happening for the winner of this fight?
I do actually, yeah, I do. Especially to be honest, I see it happening, especially if it's Hamzah Sheeraz. Like I said, I think he's more matched. I think he's obviously higher up in the rankings as well in certain governing bodies. But I mean, you look at other names that are around there. I mean, look, we've talking about the like British interests, like Chris Eubank, for example. Is he going to fight? You know, any of these guys either? Probably not. Holding out for that kind of Ben money, probably. But you know, so I actually think there's a great chance. I think looking at the rankings, looking at where both guys are positioned. Emma Williams is high up for that WBA, which is Lara's obviously the champion, like you mentioned at the moment. Shiraz is high up on the WBO as well. So yeah, I think the winner actually could definitely come through this. You've got names of I suppose Carlos Adames as well. I mean, you in that in the mix as well. But I think within the next 12 months, yes, I actually going to put my neck on the line here and say that I do think one of these guys will fight for a fully fledged world title in the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's going to be a bit disappointing if this fight does happen, and then the winner just kind of takes a step back. So we'll see, we'll see. It's really one to look forward to. It's one not to be missed. It could end up being the fight of the night. Many fights in the card could be. We will finish off with quick predictions, Elliot. Predictions change once we've kind of had fight week events, weigh-ins, change of hearts, that sort of thing. As things stand, who are you picking to win this one?
You know what? I'm fairly confident in this one. Even this far out, I'll be surprised if my pick changes here. I'm going to go Shiraz, and I'm going to go Shiraz KO. And the reason I'm going to do that is I think I've been not critical as such, but I've been kind of looking to temper the hype of Hamzah Sheeraz before, like looking at his CV and some of the sort of hype that we've heard about him, saying, "Look, calm down," till he's essentially beat someone of renown. But I just look at the both guys, their records. I look at the size of Hamzah Sheeraz as the thing for me, the size and the power. And I think he's got that height and reach advantage over Ammo Williams. I think you're going to get him out there. So I'm actually looking at Hamzah Sheeraz KO, and I reckon it for me. I reckon you could get him out of there early second half of the fight, somewhere 6 to 9 for me. I really reckon that Hamzah Sheeraz will stick it on him and do a job here. And I'm very confident. I'm like 85% confident in Hamzah
Wow.
Sheeraz here, which for me is rare. But I look at this fight and I just go, like Paul Kelly's go on the channel. He likes to support the British interest, and sometimes I temper it. But I'm fully on board. I'm fully on board Hamzah Sheeraz here.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm actually going the other way here, so I'm not disagreeing with you just for the sake of it. I think Hamza Shiraz has freakish power at the weight. Um, but I believe Ammo Williams is a step above. If you said to me who's more likely to be world champion in the future, I'd go with Ammo Williams. I think he's looked very impressive. I think it's unfortunate for Hamza Shiraz that he looked good against Liam Williams, but I think he could have done with going up against a more prime Liam Williams or just more of a kind of a top 15, a genuine top 15 middleweight would have been ideal for him, not someone who was blown over in half a round. So yeah, we disagree. There'll be more to analyze as we get closer to the fight. And I'm looking forward to it.
We'll
Ammo,
see each other on the big fight breakdown. I reckon that's where we'll see each
no,
other.
they've got no other option now. We'll have a debate. Great stuff. Ammo Williams, Hamza Shiraz, June the 1st on the undercard of Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Elliot, thank you very much for your time, and I will speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much, and as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.